In today's video, I'm going to teach you uploading files in ClickUp 2026 guide. We're going to walk through the entire process, step by step, so by the end, you'll feel completely confident attaching files to your tasks and sharing them with your team. You'll see how to add files directly inside a task, how to do it from the comments panel, and how to use common cloud storage options when you don't want to upload from your computer. I'll also share a few simple tips to keep your workspace tidy and make sure the right people are notified. The goal is to keep this smooth, straightforward, and practical, whether you're new to the platform or just need a quick refresher on the current interface. Let's begin by opening your ClickUp app. If you're working in a browser, go ahead and sign in and land on your workspace home. If you're using the desktop or mobile app, it's the same idea. Open it so you can see your workspace and start navigating. Once you're in, head over to Your Spaces. Spaces are your top-level containers where your work is organized, and this is essentially where all your tasks and lists reside. Each space might represent a function, a team, or a project category. Within a space, you'll typically find folders, lists, and then tasks inside those lists. Getting to your space first ensures you're in the right area of your workspace before you add files, so everything ends up exactly where your team expects it to be. Inside your space, navigate to the list that contains the task you want to work on. Hover over the relevant task to highlight it, and then click it so it opens completely. This brings up the full task view with all the details in one place. The title, description, assignees, due dates, status, custom fields, if your team uses them, and activity. When you open it fully, you also see the attachments area and the comments panel on the right, which are the two primary places where you'll add files. If your task is already created and ready for files, you're all set to use the attachment section directly. But if you need a new task for this demonstration, or because you're uploading files to something brand new, go ahead and create one now. To create a fresh task, click the button to add a new task in your list. Give it a clear, descriptive title so you and your team will immediately understand what it contains. If you want, you can add a brief description to provide context about the files you're going to attach, what they are, why they matter, and what action is needed. Once you've added the essential details, click Save. This adds the task to your list and opens it up so you can work with it. Creating a task first is helpful because files in ClickUp are attached to tasks or comments. That way, your uploads are linked to real work items, rather than floating around without a home. It also makes searching and organizing much easier later on. For this walkthrough, let's say you already prepared a file on your computer. A simple example is an Excel spreadsheet. You might have a spreadsheet with metrics, an image for a design task, a PDF for a brief, a presentation, or a document. Whatever the file type, the general process is the same. With your task open, scroll to the attachments area in the task body. You'll see a clear drop zone indicating you can drag and drop files right there. This is often the fastest way to add work artifacts, especially if you have the file handy. On most systems, you can open your Downloads folder or a Finder/Explorer window alongside ClickUp and simply drag the file into the task. As you drag, the interface will show you that it's ready to accept your file. Drop it, and ClickUp will upload it and attach it directly to the task. If you're dragging from your downloaded files folder, just pick up the file and move it over to the task's attachment area, then release. You'll see a quick upload indicator, and once it's done, there it is. Your file is now part of the task. This keeps everything tied to the work item, ensuring anyone who opens the task later can see and use the file. If you've got multiple files, you can drag them one after another, or select several files in your file manager and drag them in at once. After they're uploaded, you'll notice the files appear as attachment tiles or a list within the task, usually with a thumbnail or icon depending on the file type. You can click them to preview, download, or open depending on the type of file and your plan's capabilities. When you attach files this way, ClickUp adds the activity to the task's history, so your teammates can see exactly when files were added. If your task has assignees or watchers, they'll typically get a notification that new attachments are available. That helps avoid back and forth messages asking where files are. The update is captured as part of the task itself. If you need to replace a file later, just upload a new version with a clear name or note that it's the updated version in a quick comment.